Let's bring in famed billionaire investor Wilbur Ross. He is on the phone. Wilbur, thank you so much for joining us. You know, I have to say in the past 24 hours or so many people walking around that I've interacted with have asked me, what should I do? For you, it must be 1,000 times more, obviously, because you are a famed investor. What are you telling people that they should be doing right now?
Well, I think what people should be doing is picking out their favorite stock that they missed, that they failed to buy the last time they had an opportunity, and put in some bids down 5% or down 10% and hope they get hit.
And what are you doing specifically?
Similar things.
Really? You want to tell us what some of your favorite stocks are? What looks good to you?
After we buy them, I'll be happy to.
Is there anything you picked up in the past 24 or 48 hours you can tell us about?
No, we had put in some bids on Monday very early, when it was very, very down, but it turned around before they got hit. So we kind of recalibrated again today, and hopefully we'll get something today or tomorrow.
So did you recalibrate lower from there now that you see what's going on and you wonder what's going to go on in China overnight? Is your recalibration higher or lower?
A little bit higher.
Interesting. Where do you think the market is going over the next few days? Because we've seen, over the past 6 days, we watched the Dow lose 10%. Aggregate that's a big move.
Well, it is a big move, and it shows that it's a panic-stricken thing. This is not a fundamental-driven activity. The idea that they took the financials way down this afternoon, apparently on the sudden realization that with all the turmoil, it was unlikely that there would be a rate cut, a rate increase by the Fed in September. You would have thought people could have figured that out before now.
But you say that there hasn't been a change in the fundamentals. I mean, I think that a lot of people fear that there has. When you look at what's going on in China and how aggressively they're trying to defend their economy, we all say that you can't really believe the numbers that are coming out of China. But when you look at their actions, they're certainly concerned. You look at what's happened in oil and the collapse there. That tells you a lot about demand around the world. It does seem like the fundamentals have gotten weaker.
Well, as you remember from other times that we've talked, we have not believed that China was growing at anything like 7% anyway, because if you look at physical indicators, electricity consumption, natural gas consumption, steel consumption, railroad freight car loadings, cement consumption, automobile consumption, luxury goods, they've all been getting pasted, and therefore that's not consistent with anything like a 7% growth. So we think it's maybe 4% or so growth, but it surely is nothing like 7.
So you're comfortable with what's going on in China. You have that built in already to your view on the world. What do you think the Fed will do? What should they do? And what will happen?
Well, I would personally prefer them to raise the rates in September, because you can always find some reason not to raise. My worry is that if we don't get going soon with some raises, we'll be without any bullets the next time that a recession does come along. And there will be another recession.
Is there any chance that's right now? Because that's the one thing Charlie Gasparino mentioned earlier, and some very smart people have been worrying that the time has passed, we don't have bullets, and that we might be heading into something like a recession right now. Any chance that's the case in your mind?
I don't really feel that. I think the commodity price thing is more or less totally due to China, because they are the world's largest consumer of oil, largest consumer of iron ore, coal, grain. Go through the commodities, copper, nickel, aluminum. So it's really very individualized, that part of the equation. But some sectors are doing very well. As you know, we're in marine transport, particularly crude and product tankers in a quite big way. And their businesses actually have been fine because they're a direct beneficiary of the lower bunker fuel costs. And meanwhile, the physical volume in oil is very good. Oil's problem hasn't been so much lack of demand as it has been excessive supply.
Okay.
And it would be different if supply were constant. and the price of oil were still collapsing, then I would be worried.
Interesting. Wilbur Ross, thank you so much for coming on. I love what you said, that you picked out your favorite stocks, you set a price for them, it didn't go low enough, you didn't hit that bid, and so now you've readjusted a little bit higher. That is very insightful to people out there who are trying to figure out what to do. We really appreciate your time, Wilbur Ross. Thank you.